Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
All right, ladies and gents, after taking a month off for the holidays, wedding planning, vacationing, everything you could possibly think of, Zero Dark Nerdy is back to bring you pop culture entertainment every single week here in 2023. We definitely applaud and appreciate your patience, and we are back with authority, I can promise you. More amazing guests, more incredible episodes, all kinds of fun stuff coming your way here in the new year. And of course, we have our wonderful sponsors to thank for that. BetOnline.ag for all your sports betting needs. And of course, the Believe Podcast Network. Kicking off our first episode for the new year, we are going to be going through our 2023 movie preview episodes. We got some likes out there that we can't wait to see. Some question marks, I guess you could say, that we're kind of on the fence about, some wild cards, and of course, some honorable mentions. In the building, I have the lovely Jordan Ray joining us, a.k.a. Knives, and the one and only, the very outspoken Captain Cleveland, Ryan Saba, in the building. So, without further ado, let's get this thing going. Episode again, these are going to be primarily just quote-unquote regular movies. We're going to do our superhero 2023 preview here in the next few weeks, but we wanted to do the movies that we're excited about. So we're going to be doing our top three that we can't wait to see, 3 wild cards that we maybe have some questions about, and then 1 to 3 hard passes. So Saba, go ahead and kick us off, my dude.
So I think it was the 3 of us that did this last year. So I'm happy that we're back together. I want to take a moment to congratulate Jordan on graduating college. I remember. Do you remember the conversation you and I had before, like the week or two before you went to school? We were sitting at Stumblestiltskins. I think maybe Jerry was getting ready to do trivia or something. You and I were sitting at one of those tables, and I was thinking about that the other day when you graduated, how quickly that passed. So congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Most anticipated. Now, Brian told me that I could not talk about superhero movies. I am a whore for Marvel, so I have to talk about one. And look, Brian said we're going to do a separate episode on superhero movies. We've got 5 Marvel movies, I think another 3 or 4 DC movies. So what I did is I picked the one that I was looking forward to the most. And this just happens to be the movie that I'm looking forward to the most this year. And it's coming on the heels of the newest trailer that they just showed during the national championship game on Monday night. And that is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That fucking trailer was intense.
Real intense.
Normally, the Ant-Man trailers are kind of like, hey, good job, Spider-Man, like very sort of lighthearted, like the movies are. Of all of us on the podcast that have been on the podcast over the years, I'm probably the biggest Ant-Man series fan. It's just when you go back and listen to our top 5 MCU movies and our honorable mentions, I think I actually talked about Ant-Man in that one. So just super pumped for this, super pumped for the introduction of Kang. We've already seen the Kang the Conqueror variant, He Who Remains in the Loki series, spoiler alert. That is a much softer version of the big bad supervillain that we are about to see in this movie. Jonathan Majors is an absolute powerhouse. He is going to bring everything that Josh Brolin brought to the Thanos character and more, and this is one of those situations where, we're getting an introduction of a character, a full-blown introduction. We're going to find out what's happening. Phase 4 laid the groundwork for this. Scott Lang could die. Prepare yourself for that. I thought the trailer was, very somber. He said to him, I don't have to win. We just both have to lose.
Right.
Helmet off. So super pumped, super looking forward to that. We get that February 17th, early. So we will do a review episode on that. And I'm really excited. Next one.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from NFL playoffs to pro and college basketball, UFC, MMA, and more. You'll always find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. With live betting options, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. BetOnline is truly the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite leagues and events. Head to our website today or use your mobile device to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use promo code BELIEVE, that is BLEAV, to receive your rewards. BetOnline.ag, where the game starts.
Mission Impossible. As much of a Marvel whore as I am, I'm also a Tom Cruise whore. We talked about this with Popcorn Podcast. Anything that Tom Cruise is in, I will see it. We are getting Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 in July. This is a movie, one of the many movies that we've seen over the last year and even into this year that was pushed because of COVID. We were supposed to see Part 1 of this last year. Part 2 was supposed to come out this year, so that continues to get pushed. Tom Cruise does all his fucking stunts. This guy's an absolute maniac. If you go on the internet, go on YouTube or anything, there is a stunt that they've been showing for this movie where he drives a fucking motorcycle off this huge ramp, and I'm very interested to see what happens. I love the Mission Impossible movies. You know, that is an extended series of movies that has they've all kind of been good. Maybe they've all been bad too. I don't know, but they've maintained, a good cast. Jeremy Renner was in there for a while. We've had Henry Cavill. I think Henry Cavill's actually in this one as well. We've had a lot of really strong leading ladies, similar to like Bond, where, you kind of rotate love interests and all that. So super pumped for that. Love Tom Cruise. Love the Mission Impossible movies. Last but not least, November 3rd. This was probably my favorite movie of 2020, and that is Dune. We are getting Dune Part 2 in November. Timothée Chalamet, great. Zendaya, great. We're getting other characters for fans of the book series, which I am not read. I don't know how to read. But this Dune book series that goes on, there's like 10 books or whatever. We're getting another iteration or the next phase. I think maybe this is book 2, or maybe Dune Part 1, Dune Part 2 is actually the first book split in 2 pieces. Anyways, I've gone down rabbit holes and done some extensive YouTube and Wikipedia work on Dune since the first one came out. Super excited about this. Timothée Chalamet goes out into the sand and he becomes a member of the Sand People or whatever that was, the dust, the drug or whatever. So lots of great movies this year, but those are the 3 that I'm looking forward to the most.
Love it. Good list right there. Recent college graduate here from UNC Dub. Jordan, what are your top 3 that you're looking forward to this year?
Most looking forward to Barbie. Coming out, I believe, July 21st. Greta Gerwig's, I think she's directed 3 movies, but like 2 features, and I think this is her 3rd big one. Lady Bird and Little Women. I love those movies so much, and she has a pretty extensive acting repertoire too. But I'm not I haven't seen a lot of her acting movies, but obviously Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling are great performers, so I'm really excited to see. And she's just done so well with her directing so far. And so I'm really excited to see what she does. And I'm hoping that a lot of men will go see it as well, because I think it's going to be really funny and satirical. I don't know. I think something that can get the film bros excited about it is she references 2001: A Space Odyssey throughout the entire teaser. So maybe that'll get people motivated to go. It's a big reference to that movie. like imagery wise. And so I'm just really excited about that. I think it's going to be really fun. And my second one is one I haven't heard a lot about, but I saw on a list that's coming out September 22nd. It's called Next Goal Wins.
Yes.
Taika Waititi film. And I thought there was a trailer out. There's not. I actually watched the trailer for the 2014 documentary that's already.
It's based on a true story, right? Yeah.
Yeah. There's like already a documentary called Next Goal Wins about like.
Is that the one with Alex Skarsgård?
No, it's Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender and Elizabeth Moss from Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
And Rhys Darby. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he's in a lot of Taika Waititi films and shows. But it's an underdog story about the American, I think it's called the American Samoa,
yeah.
And in 2001, it was just a really bad losing streak, and they lost to Australia, like record-breakingly, 31-0.
It's like when me and Brian play FIFA.
It does sound pretty eerily similar.
And I watched the trailer for the documentary that had come out, and it looks really good. And I think the casting choice, I think Michael Fassbender will fit the role of they have an MLS coach come in, try to help team morale and all that, and just the playing in general. And it looks really good. And I feel like it has the potential to teach people the value in being and claiming, like, and being an underdog, just as like everybody, there's tons of stuff about like how do you become a world champion? Well, it's like, how do you like be proud to be an underdog? Like, what does that actually mean to be an underdog? And so it looks really good. I'm really excited for that. And Taika Waititi will be great. Third, I also had a Marvel movie, but I don't, because I didn't know I shouldn't do it.
We're gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna get into that stuff on the next episode. But if that's in your top 3, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Yeah, I love those movies, and I love Marvel, of course, but I don't love all the Marvel movies. Like, I'm just not crazy about a few of them, but I do love the universe. I like a lot of the standalone stuff, certain team ups, and Guardians is one of them. I know bad things are going to happen, and I don't want to see that, obviously.
Yes.
But
we're going to lose. I think we're going to lose a couple, but
yeah. And just the trailer with Rocket, and they have him
as the baby raccoon. Holy shit, heartstrings.
Yeah.
We actually meet the person that made Rocket into what he is. I can't remember his name, but he was also in Peacemaker. But the trailer, like you said, looks great. James Gunn, last project with the MCU, now that he's moved on to the DC universe and everything going on with that definitely deserves its own podcast episode coming up soon with the changes that they're making. We'll go from there. So Jordan, those were your 3?
Yes, that was my 3.
So my 3, I'm glad that we all kind of went a little bit different here. I think the one,
Magic Mike's Last Dance.
Oh God, you beat me to it. That was the one I was going to call out for you. For you say, but no, I think the first, my number 1 with a bullet is the Super Mario Brothers movie coming out April 7th. I love animated films, always have. And to me, I honestly, and I predicted this, I think this will go on to be one of the highest grossing animated films of all time, just because of the Mario Brothers name. And, from the trailers look great. I know a lot of people had a bunch of issues with Chris Pratt not sounding like an Italian Mario, but you could kind of hear it, especially on the newest trailer, that he goes in and out of the Italian accent a little bit. And then I believe Charlie Day from Always Sunny and everything else is playing Luigi. And then, of course, you got Jack Black as Bowser. So, I mean, great cast. It looks fantastic. I would be surprised if this movie did not do well with critics, let alone at the box office. I mean, you're going to have people like you and I, Saba, grew up on Mario, people Jordan's age, the younger generation. I mean, this just hits so many things that I don't see why this doesn't have the potential to be one of the top grossing animated films of all time. So it looks fun. I mean, definitely a family flick. To me, it seems like a home run. A group of friends on a weekend cabin trip begin to suspect something supernatural is at play when the kids behave strangely after disappearing into the woods overnight. There's something wrong with the children is the latest supernatural horror film from Blumhouse Productions. Available to buy or rent on digital now. The film is not yet rated. One of my other ones was definitely Dune Part 2. Sabar already spoke on it. I'm super, super excited about this movie. You know, it's going to be interesting. I love Christopher Nolan movies. You know, some of them can kind of be a mind fuck, for lack of a better term. Like, I'm still trying to figure out Tenet. I heard by the fifth time you actually get it.
I've watched it 3 times and I'm not doing it again because that shit's long as fuck too.
It is. And you know, he definitely bends it. And I'm just interested to see. I love Cillian Murphy. And just to kind of see the perspective of the guy from the Manhattan Project, who it's the atom bomb, right? The nuclear bomb that he came out with. So big fan of Christopher Nolan. Since Saber already spoke to Dune Part 2.
We get Downey. We get some Downey in Oppenheimer too.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, I will probably say this coming out next month, really, really soon, actually, February 3rd, Knock at the Door. But the trailers look great. You know, it's about 4 strangers that go to a cabin with a gay couple and their daughter, and they have to make the ultimate sacrifice, you know, and it's just a lot of different perspectives on there. And on top of that, you know, it is a very interesting question. You know, would you sacrifice one of your own family members to save humanity? Go ahead and segue to my wild cards of the year. And a couple of them are in this genre. The newest trailer just came out for Evil Dead Rise, coming out April 21st. Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell producing. This will take place not in a cabin. It looks gory as hell. It looks phenomenal. I love the aspect of it taking place in an apartment building. It reminds me of Demons Part 2, one of my favorite, sequel B-horror movies from the 80s that took place in a high-rise as well. So that's definitely one of my wild cards for this year. Another one that I have for a wild card is, a lot of these are primarily horror based. So The Last Train to New York, there is no date yet, but it's based on the Korean film my daughter and I watched, The Last Train to Busan. Ooh. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with that. It's a remake of a phenomenal Korean horror film about the zombie apocalypse. And these are, you know, this isn't your Walking Dead shit, you know, where they're just, you can kind of push them out of the way. And it's more 28 days later running rage virus, crawling on ceilings, the entire thing. And coming out next month, February 24th, directed by the incredible Elizabeth Banks, Cocaine Bear, based on a true story of a cocaine drop-off gone wrong, that a bear ended up tearing into a duffel bag of cocaine and went on a mad murderous killing spree. So the trailer looks hilarious. It's one of those movies you're definitely not going to take serious. If you got some gummies around, feel free to partake. You know what I mean? And I just love Elizabeth Banks, so I'm interested to see
if you live in states where that's legal.
Right. Exactly. Thank you for that.
I still have not seen Evil Dead. Just bad. I know that's bad. But the trailer I watched today, it looks really good, but they did the thing I hate, and they showed way too much stuff. They showed way too much of the cool stuff that I would have loved to see.
Yeah.
It's just, oh my God. I cannot stand when trailers do that. It just,
you're more of a Christopher Nolan trailer person, where he doesn't hardly show shit in his trailers.
Yeah, I just get the atmosphere across and a general premise, and that's enough. They showed way too much of the cool potential deaths and the gore and scary moments. I'm like, what's gonna? I mean, I'm sure it'll still be really good, but I'm whatever. I think it looks awesome, and actually scary to me. I just hope that I didn't just see it all is all.
Right.
Right. But yeah, I guess another one I had, Beau is Afraid. I watched that trailer today. I love Ari Aster. Hereditary is in my top 5 movies of all time. No horror movie has come close to beating that for me. And this doesn't seem horror. It just seems kind of like existential, like dread, like almost apocalyptic. It's just interesting. Like you can't really tell what's going on. Or it seems like a trailer where you think, oh, this is all going on in his head because it's all so bizarre and weird. And it shows, is that like, are they face matching him on like a younger boy and then like an older?
Right. So the
which is very weird.
The premise is it's about his life. So you see him at different versions of his life, and it's supposed to be for lack of a better term, not horror, but a very, very, very dark comedy. And that's what I think was going for.
Why it's a wild card on the side that like I am kind of nervous about it or skeptical is I love Ari Aster, but he will push boundaries in a way that nobody else will. And I just, so those are my wild cards.
Wild card time, Saba.
Yeah, lots of carry over here. I put Super Mario Brothers on my wild card list, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, I thought the trailer looked really, really good. I thought, visually it looked great. Obviously a really good cast. Historically, Hollywood has a really difficult time taking video games and turning it into movies or television series.
Agreed.
We can look at Sonic the Hedgehog, right? Like just right there. So I'm concerned about it from that perspective. The other thing I will say is, I don't know how many kids are still playing Super Mario Brothers. Like, I feel like little kids are playing like Fortnite and shit. You know what I mean? Like I think that Mario Brothers is like a Gen X, Gen Y, millennial kind of Gen Z. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure that young kids,
right? Okay,
5 to 12 or 13 are going to ask their parents to take them to see the Super Mario movie. So I feel like this is really more of a movie for people our age, which is fine. I'm cool with that. But is the content going to match the audience? Right? Are they making this a movie for 8-year-old kids, but 8-year-old kids aren't going to see it? And I'm going to go, I'm 40 years old. I'm going to sit there and be like, what the fuck is this? Lollipops and ice cream. You know what I mean? Like, I'm worried that the audience that's actually going to see it, maybe the content isn't going to match. So I'll see it. I'm rooting for it, but I have my concerns. And the last one, and this is just more with all the stuff that's going on. It's another comic book movie. I'm sorry. No, June 23rd, we are finally getting The Flash. Everything that's going on with Ezra Miller, get well, buddy. Like, I'm rooting for you. That motherfucker is going nuts. But the other thing is, allegedly, I want to throw that in there. Allegedly, he has not been convicted of a crime, right. But he's got shit going on all over, so I'm concerned about that. And the other thing is, like, I feel like a lot of these DC, not a lot of them, all these DC movies now are just kind of like lame ducks, right? Because they're taking the DC universe in a completely different direction. So it's like, even if I do like it, nothing's coming. Maybe, I don't know. Like, they've talked about potentially having Ezra Miller continue in if it goes well. So I don't know. But the point is, all of these things make this movie kind of the ultimate wild card. Like, what's going to happen, right? Are people going to see it? Has it been delayed too long? Has the story passed it by? Like, this is a movie that everybody's been really looking forward to seeing, but there's a lot of just stuff going on and off the screen, especially, with I guess Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
In DC and, with the main character, with the actor, so I don't know, but I'm rooting for it, but I am skeptical.
So Saba, let's go. We'll start with you. So, like, what are your 1 to 3 to whatever, like, no-nos?
Hard fucking pass. This is my hard fucking pass category. Jordan, I got nothing but love for you.
Here we go.
Barbie looks like the biggest piece of fucking horse shit I've ever seen. I have no interest in that whatsoever. Here's the thing. I am not the audience for Barbie. You know what I mean? Like 40-year-old, super aggressive and depressed alpha male, right? like that. I am not the audience. Look, Margot Robbie, I love her, of course, for all the reasons. She's great, but look, and here's the thing, it might be great. And you might come to me in 6 months or whenever, when it comes out in July, you may come to me in August and say, look, Ryan, this fucking, you should see it. And I will. But until somebody comes to me and is like, this is really good, I'm all the way fucking out on Barbie. June 9th, Transformers Rise of the Beast. Like, are we still fucking doing these? It was fun. It was really fun.
Right.
Kleiber, shout out to Jonathan Kleiber. Him and I, the first trilogy, when they would come out, we would go to the movies on opening day and see. Matter of fact, I think you came with us to one out in Winston. And even the first Mark Wahlberg one. But like, dude, are we? I don't even know who's in this. I don't even fucking care. Like, that's how I'm over this. I am. I don't know. It's just, God, fucking put it to bed. Make me a Thundercats movie.
Yes, finally.
If you want to do 80s cartoons, 80s toys, make me a fucking Thundercats movies. I'm done with the Transformers. They fucked up G.I. Joe. Like, I'm done. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has had its run. Like, I'm done. Done with Transformers, done with all that. Make me a Thundercats movie. Let's fucking rock and roll. Another summer blockbuster, June 30th, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Dude, I love Indiana Jones. I love Harrison Ford. There is no Spielberg. This is the first Indiana Jones movie that there will be no Steven Spielberg attached to it. I don't know how that can make it good.
Right.
There's no way that not having Steven Spielberg can help you. The last one I never saw it with Shia, but I heard that was a total piece of horse shit, which is why I never saw it. So, I think those are just the three. And it hurts me to say that because Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is one of my favorite movies, one of the most rewatchable movies. Him, Sean Connery, Nazis, the Holy Grail, all that shit. Only the penitent man shall pass. Like, I fucking love that movie, but I am all the way out on Indiana Jones. Even if somebody comes to me and tells me it's good, I'm not going to see it because Harrison Ford's fucking 75 years old, man. They're doing they're doing the de-aging with him. Like, look, it was fine. It's fine when they do it for like parts of a movie, but like when we can't get to the point like in The Irishman,
right,
where De Niro was de-aged for the whole fucking movie. Like, it starts to become non-believable and all that. Like he moves like a 75-year-old man, but he looks like he's 35. Like, I don't know. So I'm all out on Transformers, all out on Indiana Jones, all the way out on some Barbie and Ken. So
always keeping it real, Captain Cleveland. Jordan, what are your three no-nos and any responses to Captain Cleveland there?
That wasn't a personal shot.
Right. You already had that on your list
to that.
before we even talked.
And just respond to that because I couldn't really like come up with three like. No, I'm not seeing. I mean, Transformers. Now that I haven't seen the last like 2 or 3. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I'll put that on there. I probably will not be seeing that. Aquaman 2. I haven't seen Aquaman.
Same.
I think I've seen the first like 20 minutes, and I don't know. It never finished. I don't know.
I mean, they had to do reshoots to like get Amber Heard out of there. I think like that movie's just it's fucking doomed, man.
Yeah. And they had to remove Ben Affleck from it too, and and a ton of stuff. So
yeah, I don't know why.
Fucking doomed.
I don't know why it's happening. Yeah, that's really like I guess the only 2 I could think of where I'm not seeing.
So here are my big no's. This one is coming off of a horrendous. I cannot tell you, and big shout out to my sister Janice Hernandez on this because I'm speaking.
We love you, Janice.
speaking for her as well.
We missed you.
How much we hated Halloween Ends.
Oh my God.
Even my daughter, we watched
that's my lowest rated movie on my little app. Like that, it's laughable. Like I don't get it. I don't. Anyways,
end the trilogy like that. Yeah, it is. It was completely laughable. The first Halloween with David Gordon Green and Danny McBride and those guys, great.
Yeah.
The second one, really good gore, a little bit cheesy with the death or fear ends tonight thing, with the crowd. That shit was kind of corny, but it wasn't terrible. Let me tell you, I don't think I've ever seen a trilogy this fucked up, and especially I don't want to say especially a horror one. Not that horror trilogies are normally great, but it was just unwatchable bad. The acting, the story. Jamie Lee Curtis is the only highlight really of that film. So on my point to that is David Gordon Green is remaking The Exorcist coming out on October 13th. So because of how terrible Halloween Ends is, I don't even want to see this remake at all whatsoever.
On October 14th, I'm going to get a notification that this son of a bitch is tagged in at fucking Friendly Center watching The Exorcist. I swear to God. Somebody fucking mark this down.
No. Unless it streams at the same time, I will not be going to theaters to see this. It better take some critics. I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes and all that other bullshit. Let me just go ahead and throw that out there. If something gets like a 95, it doesn't mean I'm going to go see it. Like I need people that I know that come back to me and say The Exorcist is fucking awesome, and they better be like reputable, I guess you could say, fans of cinema like we are. I'm not just going to take some Joe Schmo's word for it on Facebook and only goes to the movies twice a year. So that's my big no. Just like Saba, Transformers Rise of the Beast, man, I tell you, if it's not for the actual transforming part and hearing the voice of Optimus Prime, I'm over these fucking movies. I've been over them for a while. The Mark Wahlberg one really wasn't that bad with, who was it? TJ Miller. I'll tell you what, I'm not ever going to see Fast X. I haven't seen really since The Rock and Jason Statham have been off the Fast and Furious. It's just so absurd and ridiculous, the things they do. I didn't see the last one. Once I heard that they strapped on a rocket to a Pontiac Fiero and it was in the trailer.
Yeah, they went to the moon or whatever.
Yeah, do I want to see Ludacris and Tyrese go to the moon in a Pontiac Fiero?
Well, if you're gonna watch people go to the moon, I would want it to be Tyrese and Ludacris. But shout out to Tim Howell of the crew. Tim fucking lives and dies by these fast. He fucking loves them. So just shout out to Tim. I got nothing. I will watch this movie, but very, very low expectations.
The only way I'll watch this is if it comes on TNT or TBS, like it will, and I'll be at home.
2027 is what you're shooting for.
Yep. And I'll be at home, and it's only because I'm too lazy to grab the remote and change the channel. And I'm just watch it for the ridiculousness. Oh, for their laughs. Maybe. Yeah. We might need to do a mystery. That's what I recommend for Halloween. Mystery Science Theater 2000 episode on that one.
I got one thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good movies coming out. And what I would say to everybody is go to the fucking movies. We had another movie theater in Greensboro closed. Carmack 18 on Wendover just closed. We lost Brassfield last year. Go to the fucking movies. Like, I get it. It's easy. We've got access to a lot of things. But there are still movies that people want to see in the theater. And if everybody just keeps doing what they're fucking doing, that's not even going to be an option anymore. So take advantage of a really great year with a lot of big budgets, big cast, big names, and go out to the movies, once a quarter. Just go to the movies 4 or 5 times next year. And every little bit's going to help.
Excellent. Well, listen, on behalf of Saba, Jordan, the rest of the ZDN crew, big thanks for, listening. We're coming up on year 5, season 6, 200 plus episodes in now. Can't wait to just keep it going out there. You guys, the fans, our family out there, you're the reason we keep doing this. And, please feel free to reach out to us on social media. Of course, Zero Dark Nerdy, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that fun stuff. And of course, the website, popculturepodcast.com, courtesy of our good friends over at Zibster. Big ups for all our comic book fans out there. Be sure to check out our friends over at Rabbit Comics. Again, that is rabbitcomics.com. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah! Victory!
And anger management?
Fuck anger management.
Thank you for listening to Believe. You can show support to your host by subscribing to the show and giving us a 5-star rating on your preferred platform. Check us out at Believe.com and search for BLEAV on YouTube.